It's your favorite YouTube dealer. I appreciate you guys for stopping in. I feel like it's been a minute since we checked out some Melanie Martinez, and I had not heard of her until a little bit earlier this year when we did our first reaction, but she is unbelievably good. Like her songs and the meaning behind it and the message, and it's just really, really, it's amazing, honestly, some of the stuff that she's done with some of her videos. Like, I don't know if it was called Dollhouse, but the one with the dollhouse and just the portrayal of that to real life and stuff. It's like she's on a whole different level, in my opinion. So I saw she dropped a visualizer called Evil, and I wanted to dive in. So you guys let me know down below what else you want to see. If a music video for this drops, I will probably check it out again because I love to see her music lined up with the visual that she has prepared. This being a visualizer, I'm going to guess it's just like a small little scene that kind of replays. That's usually what a visualizer is, but you know, maybe there's going to be more to it. We'll find out. Let's dive in. Let's see what she was doing with this one.
The other day, I stayed away. I left your shit on red 4 times today, and it felt like bliss. Used to miss your kiss. Now I'm house kept jumping over narcissists, throwing all your stuff into the abyss. Now the rolling's reversed and told you I'm a switch. How you like my spit? That's for all the piss that you left me in. See the horns on my head, they're from goddesses, goddesses. Oh God, I never knew what it meant to be content with you. Everything I expressed, I professed and never quite made it through. Said it's on my head, on my head. Whenever I spoke my truth, no, I won't defend you, all my friends. This time I refuse. If you bite my hand again, I will never flee you. You can call me. Remember when you smiled right to my face as all my little tears of obsolete.
I'm gonna be honest with you, that first verse, I missed some of it because I was so focused on the visualizer and trying to figure out what was going on, because when it was first moving and it just came out of that little blob thing in the corner, I actually thought it was a person until like it started to like squat, and I'm like, yo, those looks like some weird generated cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just the body just looked very odd, and then obviously it started to do some weird shit and it got closer. But I was so focused on that I feel like I missed some of the things that were probably being said. But I like this so far. The feel and vibe of it is cool, and I get the idea that it's kind of relationship based with some of the things that she had said. And as always, she touches on things in a really creative way, which I enjoy.
They made a shape, revealed a snake. Now stop rolling over all your jokes. Every time you tell a lie, I'm praying that you choke.
Hold on, let me go back really quick because there's something that she said that I feel like I need to catch the beginning part of it.
As all my little tears of obsolete, they made a shape, revealed a snake. Now stop rolling over all your jokes. Every time you tell a lie, I'm praying that you choke. Should've listened to the signs and the horoscopes. Hope you never cope. Hope you slip on soap. Crack.
Yeah, hold up. She said I should have listened to the horoscope. How many people out there go by horoscopes? How many people out there are into the astrology and they're like, oh, I should have known the signs. This is your horoscope, or this is your like, this is what your sign usually does. Because I'm a Gemini, and I feel like I catch shit for being a Gemini sometimes from people that are into that stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Just let me be me. Don't, you know? And it's not even that like they get to know me and they're like, oh, you fit the Gemini standard. It's just some people are like, oh, Geminis. And I'm like, yo, how you gonna judge me based on some shit that you read somewhere when you don't even know me? That's crazy to me. Like, that don't make no sense. But I mean, whatever. People are free to do what they want to do. I just think that that's wild. That's madness. Now, if you want to go into it with some precautions because you have belief in that, I can understand. But you can't just be like, yo, Geminis, this is you. Like, it don't work that way. Although, you know, I feel like they say Geminis are a little bit crazy. I may be a little bit crazy. So I guess in a sense, maybe I do kind of fit the mold in a way. in a way, but you got to give me a little bit of leeway, a little bit.
Made a shape, revealed a snake. Now stop Jack rolling over all your jokes. Every time you tell a lie, I'm praying that you choke. Should've listened to the signs and the horoscopes. Hope you never cope, hope you slip on soap. Crack your head like an egg, wanna see the yolk. You were such a hoax. I never knew what it meant to be content with you. Everything I expressed, I professed and never quite made it through. Said it's on my head, all in my head. Whenever I spoke my truth, no, I won't defend you to all my friends. This time I refuse. If you bite my hand again.
And honestly, that's something that happens in a lot of relationships, right? Where the relationship isn't going that great. And the one person knows that it's not, and the other person is probably not for them. But at the same time, when their friends try to call it out or bring attention to it, they find themselves defending their relationship, defending that person that deep down they know their friends are probably right about, and that isn't really that great for them. But it's almost like a part of you. I don't know where it comes from, because I've never been in that position, but I assume it's just maybe not wanting to admit that you were wrong, that you've wasted this much time, hoping that things can change. You know what I'm saying? Like, and once you give in and agree with your friends and stuff, you probably feel like that's it. It's like there's no going back from that. So you almost hold on for the hope that something could be different. If anybody's been in that situation, comment down below. Let me know. Like, what was your mentality of you defending your relationship to friends, but deep down you knew, and then after maybe say it was over and things got worse, and like you knew looking back that probably wasn't what you should have did, but you did it. But you did it for a reason, right? And I'm just curious, but that is definitely a thing. Whether it's like someone's being abusive, whether it's just not connecting properly, you know what I mean? Or that they're just not showing you the love that you need, the respect that you need. They're not helping you around with things that they should be helping you with, kind of stuff. And kind of just you defend it in your own mind probably as well. And you keep telling yourself that things are going to work a certain way. And so when someone calls that out and you already know that you're questioning it, I feel like that makes you almost not aggressive, but puts you in defense. And you feel like you've got to kind of fight that, right? And sometimes people will lose friends, lose family, lose all sorts of people around them over this, and then in the end find out that they kind of agreed with everybody in the beginning, but they didn't want to accept that, and so they pushed and pushed and pushed, and now they're in this situation where they've got to go back and apologize. Hopefully, people are going to accept them again, and a lot of times I feel like people will. They realize that you were in a tough position, especially if they've ever been in one like that. But it's a sad cycle that we can easily get stuck into, because a lot of times, it's just you don't really know until you get deeper into a relationship. Sometimes there are definitely red flags leading into it, but it's not always the case, right? Like it's no different than when you meet somebody for the first time, or you go to a job, or like anything like that. It's not even so much that you're trying to lie, but you try to present the best version of yourself. Now, some people will just straight up lie. That is true. They will just straight up lie, and they will manipulate, and they're a lot of narcissism built in there, and stuff like that going on. But other times, someone might just be trying to present the best them, because they feel like, they're meeting somebody that they really like, they really might enjoy, but they're not maybe prepared for that relationship, or they're not in the same headspace. And eventually you can only present the best you for so long. And then it's going to start to be the real you. And it doesn't always match up with what you presented. Now, if it's a little bit different, right? Like you find out some things about someone, like, oh, this person presents the best them. Then I find out like, oh, they're a little sloppy in their apartment, and they keep their shit pretty messy and stuff like that, right? Like these are things that you can correct. Like there's certain things that can be corrected, or they don't tend to like be very punctual about stuff, but they were those first couple of dates, and now it's like it's hard to get them to be on time. And like these are things that potentially can be worked on, but there are some things where it's like you present the best you and talk about stuff like you're the greatest boyfriend or girlfriend ever, but then really you've been abusive to other people in the past. And then slowly but surely it turns into that with this situation. And sometimes it's on purpose that people lie and they present themselves in a different way. And sometimes it's in denial of who you actually are, right? Like sometimes I feel like you deny the fact that you become very clingy and jealous and envious and stuff like that. And so you tell yourself that maybe you're not going to be that way anymore, and that, oh, it was the last person's fault. And you almost are just blind to it yourself. And then you get in a relationship, you get close enough to this person, and then you start seeing them go to work, and like, oh, there's a guy that works there or a girl that works there. Well, what are they saying to you? And like, right. And it gets a little bit fishy, and then you start going down that path. And sometimes you don't even realize it. And those people just need to get some help. But that's life, man. This shit can be crazy. It's hard to know who you're picking until you're kind of in it.
I will never fade you.
I enjoyed that. She's always so creative in the characters and like the way she dresses. It's very interesting. But I like her. I like her a lot. And that is another thing. How she said that, like she said at the end, I guess that makes me evil. But there was a part where I believe she also said, you call me evil or something. And that's another thing is some people will guilt trip you, right? Like they'll do the dirty shit to you. And then when you start being like, well, I don't want to do this anymore. I gotta, separate for yourself, so on and so forth. They'll start to be like, you're just gonna leave me like this? You're just gonna like I thought if you care about me or if you love me, like that I hate that manipulation statement. If you love me, you would do this. If you love me, this would happen. That is such a manipulative statement. And if somebody ever says that to you, that should be a red flag right off the bat. And you should totally start to analyze everything that they say to you and how they say it, because it's leading down a certain path. And that's just, it's some crazy shit that people fall into and don't realize it because that guilt trip hits them and they start to feel like, well, maybe I'm wrong a little bit too. And then you start to take blame that you don't need to take. And it's a little bit tricky out here. But anyways, I appreciate you guys for stopping in. Let me know what you thought about this. If a music video drops, just keep me updated because I may miss it, but I do want to check it out, or any new music from her as well, anything else we've missed. But with that said, I will catch you in the next one, homies.